We live?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I feel like we should, like all the podcast guys do, we should start already having a conversation. That's how Rogan always starts his podcast. They're like already talking about something.
Not when he's doing the serious topics.
Yeah. When it's him and the boys, just like smashing some beers. He's hanging with the boys, smoking weed,
then they're
drinking beers.
then
they're
they're mid
and they're like, "Should we start this?"
Yeah, but definitely.
I mean, that is kind of what we were doing.
When he's sitting down having a serious conversation where he's like, "Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience." Yeah, then he's like,
"I have the foremost scientist on ancient aliens in the house right now. We're about to have a serious conversation."
Bobby Lazario.
Yeah. No, we were having a conversation before this, but it's not what I would call YouTube friendly. So
I don't know.
No, I don't know. No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything friendly. It wasn't FBI friendly. It was a whole different thing that you guys just have to guess at. Don't guess. I don't want that stuff on our freaking metadata. No guessing. It's not a cult. Yo, howdy. Hello. How's everybody doing, man? It's been a while since we've done a live. We're trying to hitting our stride, getting back into it. Let me know if the sound's good because the royal we, Cheyleesi just set this up probably about 15 minutes before we started, like all our sound stuff. So.
Yeah, so I don't know if I did a good job or if I had turned all the knobs in the correct way. I'm not a sound engineer. I'm not an engineer. And I can barely hear.
Barely hear? We're barely here.
So, yeah, that's 2 strikes against me.
They said sound is low, not as loud or as crisp as normal. I don't know if there's anything.
Well, you're going to have to just deal with it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything we can do about it right now. Yeah, I guess just can you turn up the volume a little bit?
Yeah, I think I can.
Okay. We don't have
I think I can.
Our headphones aren't set up either, so we can't hear ourselves. Which is all right. I am no problem. Anyway, so yeah, we're just getting back into it, man. We want to start doing lives again regularly, like we did before. And this is just kind of like the first day that we had available to do it. As it's not even started in our normal time, but it's it feels like an eternity to me not doing a live and not hanging out with you guys like this because it's just been. I guess it's only been a couple weeks, but it feels like forever. How's that going? Is it looking good? All right, we good? Gypsy Tree says, "Buy my street bob." No.
However, if you'd like to donate to Forgotten Angels, you can head over to donations at brabstar.com.
Yeah.
But we are not in the business of buying any motorcycles right now.
Yeah. No, I've traded a couple. I traded a motorcycle. I have stuff that I wouldn't mind trading, but people always want to trade the most bizarre shit that's not worth anything, Or it's just stuff I don't want, People always have sport bikes that they want to trade. I'm just not interested in them. I mean, like I've got
Maybe I could be one of those sporty girls making sporty content on Instagram, with a black helmet and
black on black. Everything's
visor.
very shiny. It's all like name brand gear, sport bike girl stuff.
Yeah.
You guys know who we're talking about?
I don't even know who I'm talking about. I just mean like one of thousands. It's a pretty saturated market.
Yeah, I know the whole like Instagram biker girl thing. We could sit here all day and review Instagram biker girls. That actually would be a fun episode. I wonder if they would like the girls. They would probably just like the exposure, even if we talk shit. We have a few favorites that don't have big ones. All of my favorites have big ones. I'm just kidding. But we got a few favorites that don't have big channels. I guess Blissful Ellie probably has the biggest one right now. She's technically got a biker girl channel, adventure girl channel. She's gonna be the next Itchy Boots. Anyway, yeah, it's been a minute, so we just wanted to jump on here, kind of test out our new thing. Our internet connection has been shaky. We've had the people out here like literally 4 times in the past week trying to fix the internet, and it hasn't been doing the best.
So much so that they sent somebody who specifically deals with social media people.
Yeah.
So
we didn't even ask. Did we? I didn't ask for that.
I didn't ask for that either.
They did send it out. I got mad the 3rd time they tried to fix it. I was like angry. I didn't yell at the person because it's not their fault. You know, so I just really try to be like, look, I know that you didn't invent the internet. I know that I'm not speaking to Al Gore right now, but understand that I am pretty frustrated that it's been, you know, I have to do this. I want to do this, and you guys are really cramping my style right now.
I thought
like,
Al Gore invented recycling.
No, he invented the internet. I don't know who invented recycling. Anyway, apparently they sent out the best guy, and he got it fixed. I'm still not super impressed with Spectrum. Anyway, yeah, it's been a little bit of a changeover. It's cool. We got the shop set up. Cheyleesi's going to get back into making content here pretty soon. It takes time to get settled down, man. And I know, you know, a lot of people are like, it doesn't seem like you missed a bit. I only missed 1 day. So I missed 1 upload. But everything has felt rushed. Like I've been like editing stuff and having to rush and go somewhere else because the internet has been broken, and run somewhere else so I could actually upload the video like minutes before it's supposed to premiere. So I've been, you know, on the edge of it, on the bleeding edge by my fingernails to get the videos out recently. And I know nobody's like asking me to do that. That's a me thing. I know nobody out there is like, you better, like nobody's holding a gun to my head. That's a me thing. I like to do that. I want to get the videos out. Yeah, Cheyleesi's holding a gun to my head.
Okay, I just need to ask a question because sometimes I feel like you lie to me.
I do. So I tell a lot of lies. I think it's funny to lie.
Yeah, so I want to ask the chat, because you do be lying to me sometimes about what's legal and what's not legal. Is it legal to carry a gun on a boat?
It's legal to carry a gun anywhere in Florida except for like Publix.
If
maybe.
you're on a Publix,
you're not allowed to. You can't.
George Jenkins law.
It's Highlander. It's Highlander rules. You can't carry a gun on holy ground. So not in Publix.
Okay. But does the ocean count as Florida?
Well, once you're in international waters, there's no fucking rules at all, is there? You can gamble out there. Well, why wouldn't you be allowed to have a gun?
How far do you have to be considered in international waters?
Well, before international waters, you're in Florida waters, and you're allowed to have a gun.
Who owns the Bermuda Triangle?
Florida. Us. Maybe nobody. Maybe we can claim it.
And why is no one worried about it like they were when I was a kid?
I feel like people aren't talking about it enough.
To be worried about that nowadays? Or is that just like a thing that only kids
nowadays are not worried about the Bermuda Triangle like they should be? And it's a real issue, man. I was very worried about the Bermuda Triangle.
I was also worried, so I'm wondering if kids these days are also worried about the Bermuda Triangle, or if that was something that's just like
indicative of our generation. It was like every cartoon had a Bermuda Triangle episode.
Yeah.
You know? So here's Bermuda owns it? It's in the name? What do you know, Daniel Brees? I guess he's a wizard.
Wow, Daniel's so smart. He went to college.
I had my grandmother was weird, and she made us write like what we would do, and we would die all the time. So one of the ones that I wrote was I was so curious about what happened in the Bermuda Triangle. I was a very curious kid. Just really, I both hated and loved mysteries. I had to know the answers. I was so tenacious, dude. And so I just was like, stuff like Sasquatch and Bermuda Triangle and Loch Ness Monster
what about magicians?
It plagued me.
Do magicians
Magic
plague you?
Absolutely. My grandmother told us everything was real. And so I was at odds with like going to school and growing up and becoming becoming, what's the word I'm looking for? Suspicious of this. Just becoming a little more jaded as you get older, and you're like, okay, I don't believe in this stuff anymore. But I had been told everything was real my whole life, like monsters, fairies, dragons, aliens, magic, telekinesis, Loch Ness Monster, everything was real, like 100%. Like, yes, that's a thing. If you go into the Bermuda Triangle, nobody knows what happened. Like,
What about the hole in the
100%
hole?
real.
What about those kinds of
Nah, that wasn't around
conspiracies?
back then.
Just like magicals, like cryptids and shit.
So it was mainly like cryptids, magic stuff, parts of the world where weird shit happened that she was really into. Ghosts, a lot of stuff like that. So, yeah, pro wrestling.
What are some other parts of the world where suspicious activities happen? Like Easter
Transylvania,
Island?
Bermuda.
Transylvania's a real place?
Yeah, dude, people live there.
It's in Romania?
Transylvania, it's its own fucking country, I think.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm officially stupid. Well, the more you know, you learn something new every day. And the difference between ignorance and stupidity is the willingness to learn. So really, I'm not stupid.
So, yeah, that's kind of what went down. Is I just was so at odds with believing it since I was a little kid, and then becoming, suspicious that it might not be real as you get older. As anybody starts to question anything, and so I was so obsessed with what happened in the Bermuda Triangle that I said, like, when I'm about to die, I wrote it in my will that she made us write. When I'm about to die, I'm going to rent a boat, because I just figured, like, well, I don't need to buy a boat. I just rent one, because they're not getting it back anyway, because once it goes to the Bermuda Triangle, it's gone. I'm just going to rent a boat, and then, like, on my deathbed day, I'm going to drive it into the Bermuda Triangle. And even though I'll for sure die, because that was, to me, in my head, that's a death sentence. Like, you go there, you're dead. Like, that's it.
To the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that's it. There's no coming out of it.
It's like a black hole.
That's it. You're dead. You cross the thing, you're gone. You're dead. Nobody knows. And I was like, I might die, but at least before I die, I'll know what happens.
You know what?
I was like dead set on that.
Can I tell you what I thought of the Bermuda Triangle? So by the time I started thinking about the Bermuda Triangle, Lost was out.
So that's I forget you when Lost first started coming out, you were a kid still.
Yeah, so
that's weird.
I thought if you went to the Bermuda Triangle, you would like just teleport to like maybe a different time or dimension, like in Lost, or like maybe like you just be in a different part of the world. Who knows?
That's cool too. I just thought I don't know what I thought happened. I didn't have any idea because nothing was clear.
Well,
it was never clear. It was just like,
of course
we don't know.
Clear, but it's just like everybody has their own imagination of what the Bermuda Triangle does. Dude, or whatever.
My grandmother would point at anything in the sky that was anything. It was like, oh, that's an alien. Like, I want you to imagine as a child. You never got Santa Claus, but imagine as a child. Imagine, let's say, the Tooth Fairy. Anything that you're like, is that real? That was everything. Like, everything was real.
That's such a strange concept to me because, I did grow up Jehovah's Witness. So I was told nothing's real.
No, it was everything.
No Tooth Fairy, no Easter, there was no rabbit.
I mean, we didn't really talk too much about that stuff. We talked a lot about, like, chupacabras and aliens and shit.
No, there was no chupacabras or aliens. My parents were not worried about those types of things.
Oh, Leo's Pride. He goes, my bike from Bert's Barracuda arrives tonight. What'd you get, dude? Did you buy a bike from Bert's and get it delivered?
Yeah, they do deliver to the
lower 48. They don't. By the way, if you do that, it's not like they tell us. So you gotta let me know because I am really excited when people do that. So it's not like they're like, hey guys, somebody did this. Like, they don't tell us. So you have to let us know that you did it.
Can you drop in the comments what your favorite cryptid is? Like, what was your favorite? Like, what did you have a special interest in? Ellie says she had a special interest in Bigfoot as a kid.
Leo's Pride. Is that the same V-Rod muscle that I rode in a test ride? I wonder, because it was a V-Rod muscle that I rode. That's awesome. Hell yeah, dude. That's cool. Yeah, they don't tell us when people get bikes delivered. That's just makes me stoked. I wonder how many other people have had bikes delivered and probably are like, oh, They probably let them know that I got it. Like, they don't tell us.
No,
man.
they don't tell us. You gotta tell us.
You have to let us know if you do that because it's cool.
Yo, there's a Mothman museum. I didn't know that.
Mothman? Everyone likes Mothman. I guess it's
because
kind
he
of
has
funny.
2 dicks.
I'm just like,
That's
I
why
don't
they
know,
like
dude.
him.
He's a fucking moth, man. I'm not that into it.
He could be anything if he had 2 dicks.
I know. I'm just like, ugh, a moth. Moths are so annoying. You know? I'm just like, ugh, gross, dusty. Right? They got that weird dust on them. I don't like it.
Imagine being allergic to that dust, and then Mothman tries to fuck with you, and then you just like go into anaphylactic shock, and he's like, "No, this is what I was trying to do."
I don't know, man. I don't think I'm not. I'm like the Mothman jokes are funny, I guess, but as far as a cryptid, I'm like, I don't know. I think the chupacabra is pretty cool, but I always imagined it different, like than they do it. I thought it was more like a lizard or something. I think that lizard cryptids are cool.
What's a lizard cryptid that you know?
Chupacabra, I thought, but apparently it's not. It's like
No,
some
I
other
thought it
thing.
was
Like, it
like
looks like a monkey or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, the cryptid thing, I'm not that into it, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
but
like...
I mean, like a cryptid could be literally anything. It's just anything that's like spooky conspiracy, right? Or is there like
I don't know. I
a
like
list of cryptids?
I like big monsters. I like kaijus, like Godzilla and shit. I like that. But like, I don't think that those could hide from us. Like, that's...
Are you kidding me? 98% of the ocean is undiscovered.
What about the other 2%?
That's the part we put our trash in.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the cryptids are fine, I guess. It's just, I was inundated with this shit as a kid. That's like asking me, be like, so what's your favorite Santa Claus?
What?
It is, because I'm like, dude, I was inundated with this shit as a kid. People, I'm underselling this. Everyone who's like, whatever you're imagining my childhood was like when it comes to like believing in every single urban legend and being told that it was the truth, like the gospel truth, whatever you're thinking, it's so much more than that. Like, I'm way underselling this.
I think you are.
No, it was like regular topic of discussion between children and adults about it being real all the fucking time. So it's like, I'm over that shit. I guess. I mean, some of it's kind of cool. I just like whenever somebody does something on it now, I'm just like, ugh. I've been inundated with it my entire childhood. I mean, I don't know. That was just me. What you doing down there?
My camera died.
Oh.
I don't know why it isn't charging, so I'll find some little better things.
Me and my older sister talked about writing that was like when everyone was writing all those memoirs, me and my older sister talked about writing one. It was like Running with Scissors and all those things coming out and like A Million Little Pieces. And then like a bunch of those dudes got busted for like lying about their memoirs. We were just like, got soured out. A bunch of people, it was A Million Little Pieces. That guy got busted for lying about half of it. And I think they were busting up the Running with Scissors guy too. But anyway, it was just like a really big thing for people with weird childhoods to write memoirs for a while. Me and my sister were like, oh, let's do it. We started writing a little bit of it. The problem is like a lot of it is very unbelievable. So when you say it, it sounds fucking made up. So we just were like looking at some of the stuff. We're like, this sounds made up, dude. Like my grandma would would sit us down and try to have us read each other's minds, but then get like angry when we couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And like try to move pennies and try to move them with our mind, and she would just stare at us and say we could do it. And it was and it's like, you think that I say that and you're like, oh, that happened like once. No, that's not that's what everyone thinks. They're like, oh, that happened like one time. I'm like, no, dude, this was like all the fucking time. Anyway, so it's like we started to fuck around with it, and we're like, this, no one's gonna believe it, dude. It sounds made up. So we were like, nah, dude, we're good. People will just be like, we're lying. Because all the dudes with weird memoirs were getting called out. Everyone's like, nah, liars, you're making it up. Anyway, that's just me. It was strange. Yeah, and it's just like also like the 80s and 80s and early 90s was really like that whole it was like the X-Files effect. Like the supernatural and the paranormal was really popular. And coming out of the 70s too, like cuz my grandmother obviously was a product of the time. So coming out of the 70s with like the whole Anthony LaVey thing, the Satanism thing, and all these like mystic shamans and fucking like magicians pretending they're fucking real and shit, like bending the spoon, all that crap. Like Uri Geller was huge. So there was like very much in the social zeitgeist at the time. And of course it is now too, but even then, this is like pre-internet. So, you know, this was like National Enquirer. We had every issue of National Enquirer and fucking Weekly World News and Sun. All those like things that were like Bat Boy, all that shit. It was always at the house. Gospel, man. So it was like, yeah, that's what it was like. Snake Plissken. Now you get that reference.
Oh my god, I do now.
Cheyleesi saw Escape from L.A. I didn't bother showing her Escape from New York because even though it is a classic, when you go if you have fond memories of it, and I do have fond memories of it, I went to rewatch it and I was like, oh, this is not what I remember as a kid. But Escape from L.A., it's like they remade it. So Escape from New York, your memory of that as a child, that's what they made Escape from LA for. They're just like, hey, we know how you remembered this when you were a little kid. We're just going to make it again like that. And so it's literally just the same movie again, except as over the top as you remember the first one being.
I'm gonna have to switch the camera since it's not working.
It's not coming back on? What the heck, man?
I don't know, man.
I think isn't it just only that one that usually does it? That sucks. Sorry. Yeah, TV Guide, dude. I remember reading the back of the TV Guide. Yeah, Escape from LA was freaking. That's a dope ass movie. Shay was very excited to see it. She was very into it.
So good, man. I loved that movie.
Yeah, of course. Dude. Of course, Big Trouble in Little China, the best duo ever. Fucking guy's name just ran right out of my head. Fucking John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. Like, name a better duo. Oh, wait. This was The Thing, Escape from New York, Escape from LA, Big Trouble in Little China. I'm sure John Carpenter and Kurt Russell did more stuff than that. But I'm like, come on, dude. They're freaking awesome. Big Trouble in Little China. And like, we started watching that. And every time Shay watches a movie that is like an old movie that I quote all the time, and she just like probably thinks that like I just like made that up or something.
I just think sometimes you say nonsense words.
You know, I think, what was it? It was like the check is in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. When some big ugly knocks your favorite head against the wall and he looks you dead in the eye and he says, have you paid your dues? You know what you say in a situation like that? You just tell him what old Jack Burton says. You look him dead in the eye and say, have I paid my dues? You say, yes, sir. The check is in the mail. And I say the check is, I quote that all the time. And I get fucking dagger eyes from Shay whenever I show her movies. She's like, you didn't make that up? I never claimed to make it up, by the way. It's just like... I just say it, you know? Yeah, dude. How could John Carpenter exist? And I love that his ego, too. Like, all of his movies are not like the movie. It's like John Carpenter's The Thing. John Carpenter's Escape from L.A. Like, he puts his name at the front of it. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. This dude's like, this is my fucking movie. Black Dog. I remember seeing Black Dog in theaters, man. That was a fucking cool movie. That was Patrick Swayze. He played a truck driver. And the Black Dog was supposed to be this thing that, like, when you were trucking for too long and on the road, which is a thing. When you're starting to fall asleep, there's something your brain does. It makes it look like there's things running out in front of you. So I didn't know that was like a trucker thing, but that was what it was. It was like the Black Dog. When you've been up too long, a black dog runs out in front of you and makes you crash. But I've experienced that many times when you're like on the road and you're so tired and you should be pulling over. You start to have these hallucinations, and you hallucinate and it looks like shit's running out in front of you. So it is absolutely a thing. Oh yeah, dude, director's cuts, man. Director's cuts are awesome. I love freaking director's commentary, man. They need to. People are revolting right now against streaming services because it was like this huge thing where it's some anime thing, but people are getting wise to it. It's because there's this anime streaming service. I forget what it's called. Crunchyroll, right? And so people bought all these extra like DVD extras and Blu-ray extras, like commentary and all these extra things. They bought them right through the streaming service because they were made it available to buy all these extras and stuff like that. And then what happened is they like apparently they like lost the rights to some of this stuff, so they're just like, yeah, you just don't have this stuff anymore. And people are like, what the fuck, dude? You're talking about over all these people, probably millions of dollars spent on all these extras and commentaries and stuff. And they're just like, yep, that's not yours. It's just gone now. And I'm like, fuck, dude. You know what? They still release everything on Blu-ray. Like, every movie that comes out, you can get that shit on Blu-ray. So I'm like, you want director's commentaries? They still do it, but you got to get the Blu-ray. And if you buy it through some online service, you don't really own that. And they can just take it away whenever they feel like it.
Or if you want to go extra hard, you just get the Criterion collection.
Yeah.
And it comes with all the extras. Also, man, I had something else I wanted to say about.
Oh, go ahead, say it.
No, it's gone.
I'll be right back.
It's gone forever. I fixed the camera. Blu-ray is still a thing. I do buy a Criterion collection every so often, but I have to really like the movie or film. Anytime I want to be a snobby asshole, I go, I don't watch movies, I watch films. Like Escape from LA. Bringing that one back. It was very good. I had a VHS player. I'm like young enough that I had a VHS player and still had dial-up internet. But then still I'm technically classified in the people who play Fortnite and love TikTok. It's a really weird time to be alive and to be under 30. Yes, I've used a check before. I actually have a checkbook. Josh does not. No, we're not doing the drawing today. We're doing the drawing on Sunday. And I even have some of my old VCRs from when I was a kid. I have my Lion King, Sailor Moon, and a Pokemon one. Drop your favorite VHS that you had in the comments. I want to read what y'all's favorite real film, because that's why they called it that. I asked the chat what their favorite VHS was. Larry, what's going on? I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me.
Slapshot was a good movie. I remember that. Of course I run the Red Spring. Dude, why is that so important, man? What people find important to ask and like spam the chat with sometimes, I'm like amazed at. No offense to you, dude, but I'm like, there's videos. Like that video exists. I made multiple videos on my KTM and what setup I run on it. Like that's out there, man. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Maximum Overdrive. We're talking about movies, dog, not dirt bikes right now. Okay? Stop trying to hijack the conversation and make it about dirt bikes. We're talking about movies. Where's that? Slapshot. Slapshot's amazing. Anything by Ralph Bashki, of course, dude. Transforming movies on VHS. Yeah, Joe's in the chat. Yeah, dude. Oh, come on, man. Transformers. Dude, the freaking soundtrack that was rocking, man.
With Shia LaBeouf?
No. I'm talking about freaking You've Got the Touch, baby. You got the touch. You've got the power. No? Not ringing a bell.
No, all I know.
Yeah.
I know
Bam,
Shia LaBeouf.
bow, out, bow. No? Anyway, do yourself a favor and just type in Transformers You've Got the Touch and just rock out with us right now. I want everyone to listen to it right now. Please type into your YouTube and then in a separate browser, keep this one up, in a separate browser, type in You've Got the Touch, Transformers.
And in a other separate
experience our joy.
browser, type Transformers, Shia LaBeouf. No. Because there's a clip of every single time he says no. in Transformers, and it's really funny. I love those videos.
Oh, Julie Smith with Batteries Not Included. Dude, I loved that when I was a kid. Batteries Not Included, about the aliens that fix stuff in like the tenement. Dude, it was so fun. It was such a cool like kid movie. Because like the kids got to interact with them. There's little aliens that were like these little flying saucers. And they would just like fix your blender and shit. Mm-hmm. And just fly. And they look so cool flying around. I remember being a kid going like, that would be so awesome. I wish that would happen here. It was, Batteries Not Included was definitely like a very cool, like imprinted movie. That and Flight of the Navigator, of course. Yeah, You Got the Touch, man. Listen to us. Listen to it with us, man. Yeah, Flight of the Navigator was killer, dude. Maximum Overdrive. We haven't made Shay watch that yet. We started.
No, didn't we?
Maximum Overdrive? No.
Which one's that?
It's the one where all the trucks come to life. The AC/DC album.
We were just talking about it recently because we were also talking about the movie Christine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and how Stephen King does loads of drugs. And he's like, what if cars could kill people? That's actually so Christine is Christine and Maximum Overdrive are, I still love it, but they're Stephen King's biggest hack move ever because it's literally just Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You're like, you wrote The Birds, but with cars, man. You fucking rip off. I mean, I'm a huge Stephen King stan. I love King. I love his stuff, and I even love Maximum Overdrive and fucking Christine. And Christine, not so much, but definitely Maximum Overdrive. Huh?
Someone said it.
Who made who? Yeah. So that's my favorite things about AC/DC is one of Stephen King's favorite bands. Stephen King is in a rock and roll cover band too, with all other authors. By the way, it's all other authors, and they play
what
like
fucking nerds,
Roadhouse
dude.
covers, dude. They're out there just playing like Poison and fucking like shit from the 80s, dude. It's so funny.
Oh my god, you guys are going so hard with this question right now. I love that they're so like everybody has one or two things to say and about what their favorite VHS
no
was
I love
when
it,
they were
dude.
a kid. Or I said, what was your favorite VHS that you owned?
Yeah.
And because everybody had, because that was the time in movies when you had to own a movie if you wanted to watch it, and if you didn't, you had to go to Blockbuster.
I've seen Cabin Boy.
It.
Species, of course. Joe loved Species. All these Dirt Bike Kid, that was a favorite of mine too. That was another big childhood fantasy one. Dirt Bike Kid, he had I think it was like I forget what it was. It was a 2-stroke dirt bike, but it had dual headlights, so it made it look like it was it gave it like anthropomorphized to the dirt bike. And the dirt bike, it was like Herbie.
I've never seen Herbie.
Herbie, it was like the dirt bike was alive. It had a personality,
yeah.
right? And it would like follow him around and shit. So he just had this dirt bike that he would rip around on, but the dirt bike had had consciousness. It was so fucking cool. It was just like the ultimate childhood fantasy, right? Where you're just like, dude, not only do I have a sick ass 2-stroke dirt bike, but it also is like a dog. You know? It's like, oh, this is the best, man.
You guys are really showing your age. Not because you guys love the question. It's because of the movies that you were watching when VHSs were around. Because my favorite VHS was The Lion King.
Oh, my favorite one, there was this one, it was called like, that I used to wear out. It was called like Fantastic Inventions. It was one of those, you might not remember this, but back in the day, they used to make like little 30-minute VHS tapes. And they were like almost like, like impulse buy.
Yeah.
VHS tapes, like just like your checkout. Because back in the day, they used to sell VHS tapes at like the grocery store and stuff. They'd be like in the checkout aisle, like a cool VHS tape, just to get you to buy it like on the way out.
That.
And also like every grocery store also rented movies. Like all the cash and carries had rented movies and video games and shit. So there was one that I had. It was called like Fantastic Inventions or something like that. And it was just this little half hour. It was all in black and white. There's no words. Like nobody talked during it. It was just all these old videos of like flying machines and contraptions. And it was so, I remember I wore that shit out. I was just like, it was so cool. I remember look at all these weird, I bet I can find it, dude.
The VHS tape that I wore out was the fucking orange tape of Good Burger. And also the weird thing that you're talking about that kind of was like my generation. I think it was called like Smashbox. Does anyone remember that show? It's like a puzzle show.
It was definitely like, it was a flying, this is
Crash
what, it
Box.
might be it. It might be Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines. I think this might have been it. Does anyone else remember this? This looks really familiar. Even right down to the columns next to it. I think this was it. Here,
We don't have our headphones.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Play with no sound. Because there's no sound to it anyway. It's like some like music or some shit like that. Oh, never mind. No, Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines is a Red Skelton movie. That's not it. It was all just like funny inventions. So that wasn't it, no. Because it was all like, it was some shit that was like, it was on a tape. It was all like footage that was, this was like a common thing to do with VHSs back in the day, like compilation stuff for like impulse buys. Is these people would just grab stuff that was non-copyrighted because it was so old. So it entered public domain. So it was all these old like test footage of like old flying machines that was in public domain because it was old enough to be there. And they just compile it all and put it on a VHS tape and then like get it in the checkout aisle at cash and carry. And make money. That was like a way people made money back in the day.
Was cash and carry bought by Winn-Dixie?
I forget what cash and carry turned into. It turned into something else for a while and then just went away.
I honestly, I don't even remember cash and carry.
It was like this, though. How do I get this to you? It's like I can copy it.
What's your plan with the Honda Sabre? Do you plan to sell it? This dude wants to buy it.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we really are in the interest of selling motorcycles. This guy's name's Fart Degree. That's a great screen name.
Yeah, it's a good screen name, but I'm not selling the Sabre.
No,
you can't replace
it was a different person whose name's Fart Degree.
Well, I text it to you. I don't know what you can do with that. Why is it so hard to move something from one computer to another? It's weird.
Why don't you just drop it in the chat?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That way I don't have to open my messages.
Yeah. There we go. That works. Actually, that's smart. So there's all this kind of stuff. This isn't it. This is just somebody else compiling it and putting it on YouTube. But this is all just like.
Oops. Sorry you guys couldn't hear us. I just had the other thing playing.
I remember all these. All these were in it. It was just a compilation of just, it was like a half hour of nothing but this. Of like weird fucking crazy shit like this. Like early helicopters and rockets and flying machines and stuff like that. And it's just all like crashing. Okay, can you not play it at this and have them hear us at the same time?
No, but you can drop the link for people.
Okay.
I just don't have everything set up.
Anyway. Eyes of the Dragon? Yeah, I read Eyes of the Dragon. Anyway, so I don't want to get out of here without fucking talking about the tour glide.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, we kind of never got to that.
It's okay. We're hanging. So we are pulling the tour glide on Sunday. Also, just this has also happened, like, the tour glide, we've had it forever now. Like, we're finally like, okay, we need to give this away. It just has been crazy, and I haven't been able to make the content I want to tell people that we're raffling it. Which I guess is good if you bought a raffle ticket, because this will probably end up being like the best
like
odds,
one of the best odds, yeah.
the best odds of anything we've given away lately. So it's like, and it's cool for everybody who entered. So I'm not gonna be like, oh damn, that sucks. But I'm just also just like, damn, this is a really desirable motorcycle. It's a very cool bike. So I'm like, yeah, we're pulling it on Sunday, which also I just realized is Super Bowl Sunday. So even like our last live stream where we try like, we're pulling it now, like we're competing with the Super Bowl.
Oh man, should we pull it on Monday?
No, it ends on Sunday. We can't just change the day it ends. I mean, you can, but we're not going to. No, we're not going to do that.
Oh, but it's Super Bowl Sunday, dude.
No, we can't do that. There you go. Sterling Wheel, we appreciate you, man. Sterling Wheel is always, he's the fucking always doing donos, man. He's one of the only dudes, and I know, not casting any aspersions on anybody else, but Sterling Wheel, man. He fucking single-handedly keeping us in pickles. Thank you, my friend. And Jerry, keeping us in shot beers. We might, I don't know if we probably won't do any more jackets till next year. It's almost, winter's almost over. Anyway, so we're giving away the Tour Glide. We're giving away Super Bowl Sunday. We're competing with Taylor Swift on Super Bowl Sunday. And somebody's winning the Tour Glide. So, again, this is going to end up being the best odds of any bike we've given away in the past ever, I think. Like, except for one we did where it was like a limited amount of tickets, but like this is the best odds that we've ever given away. And yeah, Joe, thank you, Joe Yother. Joe's like, what foosball? Exactly. I don't know, dude. I guess if we're around people like David will definitely do a Super Bowl thing, but he used to play, like David cares about football, you know?
Yeah, he played football.
Yeah, he played football, so he cares about football. And I know that Dr. Girlfriend was asking what we were doing for Super Bowl, and of course she's very into it, because of course she is, you know? She's like exactly the type of girl that would be excited about Super Bowl.
You know, if it's like...
No, it's not a mean thing. It just is true. No, Shay knows exactly what I'm talking about.
No, this isn't even a comment on that. Everyone's like talking about Taylor Swift too. And I'm like, if I had to choose between watching football and a Taylor Swift concert, I would rather watch Taylor Swift.
I don't even know any songs that she sings.
I don't really know any songs either.
And I'm not like trying not to know. I'm not like avoiding it. I guess probably like some songs would play. I was like, oh, that's Taylor Swift. And it's like songs I've heard or something. Probably just from like Instagram, like it being in people's reels. But I just don't know much about Taylor Swift. Besides that, some people really love her and then other people really hate her. Which I'm always just like, it's kind of weird. Like, I got nothing to, why would I can't imagine caring enough about Taylor Swift to dislike her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm on that. I just really don't care.
I'm like, why would I hate her? I'm like, she's like a pretty, I guess. Like, she's like Ohio pretty. I don't know.
I think that's actually where she's like
from Ohio.
She's from the Midwest.
She looks like she's Midwest pretty. And now I don't mean that even in a mean way. She just looks like she's like a blonde white girl, which I love my blonde white girls. Don't get me wrong, but she definitely just looks like she's like, I'm from Nebraska or something like that. I'm not. I'm digging deeper, dude. I'm trying to hit bottom. Like, I'm not trying to talk crap about anybody, but she just looks like a girl who's like the prettiest girl. She's
the prettiest girl in PA.
She's like the prettiest girl in Omaha. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'm like, I don't know. She's pretty. Like, she sings songs. Like, why do people hate her?
Okay. Jerry asked a very good question. And when will orders start shipping again? You guys may have noticed.
I'll be right back. We
are in a different house. So we moved. So I probably should have sent out an email or put it on the website that there was going to be a little bit of a delay in the next couple days /week /2 weeks. But now I have currently set up our office again, so we can start shipping stuff. That's all the stuff. So I'm going to start packing orders. There's the stickies. There's my poop sign right there. It says poop. Can you see it? Important. It's for morale. So, yes, the P.O. box is closed. I closed the P.O. box. I'm going to go through and delete on all of my videos the P.O. box address. Anything is going to be sent to Forgotten Angels from now on. We are officially out of Ybor. So we will be back to sending stuff Monday. I'll have everybody's stuff out. You guys are top priorities. Like, now that I'm settled with my things after myself and my health, then comes y'all's orders. So, yes, we're definitely acclimated to the new digs. The yard is very nice. Oh, Jerry, yay, I'll definitely send you another care package. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all the love and support right now. You're the best.
All right, I'm back.
Are you?
Sorry, I'm back.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Anyway, thanks for the support, guys. I appreciate it. We're not leaving yet. I'm not done streaming. Like, we only started an hour. Oh, we started 36 minutes ago.
Pandering gets you nowhere. But I don't think that's true.
I guess it can. I don't know. I don't think it does, man. I think I can see pandering like a mile away. You know? And I try not to ever pander. And I really hate it when somebody tries to pander to me. Like, I feel insulted. When they, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so this happens with biker stuff all the time. And that's why you ever like see something that's like specifically like aimed at you, but it's kind of cringy. where you're just like, this is what I like, but it's like my dad got it for me or something. That's the feeling of being mad at pandering. It's like, why did my dad try to make what I like seem cool? You're like, stop it. I don't like that. Stop it. You don't get me. You don't understand me. I hate you, Dad. You know? That's what pandering feels like to me. Anyway. Also, I'm just like, I hate that. It's so close to being political that I don't, and we're like a firm no talkie about that kind of stuff, because I think it's annoying. So I almost hesitate to talk about like Hollywood pandering because it's very close. But also I'm just like, dude, I feel like the upsetting thing about that is like, I don't care, dude. It doesn't bother me, but when they do it, the Hollywood I don't believe they have an agenda. Their agenda is make money. And so if they think that there's money in pandering towards like fringe culture, then they're going to do it. Mm-hmm. And they've always done it. But the problem is it creates more animosity. Like if they base a whole movie around pandering and be like, this is a left-handed lesbian Eskimo midget, in a wheelchair, and she's the new superhero, or they're the new superhero, right? And this is the movie around them. It's so obviously pandering towards that fringe that, you're not making them happy because they're like, what the fuck, dude? Why are these Hollywood guys trying to make money off of trying to sell this movie to me? They're not happy. And then everyone is like, well, what the fuck is this shit, dude? Why is the left-handed lesbian Eskimo midget the superhero? This is stupid. And so just everybody's mad. Like, you're not, it's like your dad's trying to do it. It's Steve Buscemi, like, hey, fellow teenagers. It's like, fucking stop it, dude. You're not hitting any mark. You've missed the bullseye. You've missed the board. And you've hit the wall with a dart, dude. You've missed entirely. And you're making bad movies. Stop. It's fucking annoying. Like, I don't hate it. And there's no agenda. They're just trying to fucking make money. But I'm just like, just stop, dude. It's not good. Anyway, that's my opinion on that.
Someone says that's every piece of Harley media ever. Is it Harley media or is it Harley propaganda?
I know what they're talking about, dude. Harley's definitely trying to be inclusive.
I'm just joking.
No, I'll talk about it. Harley definitely tries to be inclusive, which I do like. Because and I run into this a lot, and this is why I've always liked our crew down here, because it's a bunch of fucking freaks and people from every which way. And we don't try to do that. That's just the way it is down here.
Shannon B., thank you for your order.
So I don't dislike it when Harley does it, I guess, even though I do find it a little pandering, a little weird. It's a little cringy, but I will tell you, there are still plenty of black people out there, or Asian people of color, to use the preferred catch-all nomenclature, who feel weird about going to motorcycle events. And that's because you can still go to a motorcycle event, pretty much any large motorcycle event, and there is plenty of Nazi and hate memorabilia for sale at those events. You could go to any single one. I had this idea with Brandon Picasso forever ago, which he chose not to do, which is fine. But I was like, dude, we should do a hidden camera and have you go up and buy like a swastika thing. Because they're for sale. You could go to Daytona Bike Week. There's a booth that sells like Swazi stuff. For sure.
Pretty much in like
every bike event. They're there. So it's like, I like to make people go like, hey, you can go. It's cool. It's fine. Like, trust me. There are people there who want you there. But I understand it when people are like, I feel like I couldn't go there because I would feel uncomfortable. There are parts of like any bike fest where you would feel uncomfortable with someone like that. So anyway, I'm just like, it is fucking true, dude. there's a lot of fucking nasty shit at bike events. And I understand that sometimes people are like, I'm not a part of this. Like, I like motorcycles, but motorcycle culture doesn't want me there, you know? So when like Harley does that, I'm just like, it's kind of good. Cause I'm like, I want people to be like, okay, I could do that. I want everyone to be like, yeah, it's a motorcycle, dude. I don't care. You could be black, brown, purple, yellow. It doesn't matter. Fucking whatever, man. As if you ride a motorcycle, now I know there's one thing I like about you. If I can find one thing, I'll probably find a second thing, you know? Sorry, I interrupted you, Shay.
It's okay. It's gone.
Yeah, David Mann. There's and I love David Mann. I have plenty of David Mann art up, but there's a ton of David Mann artwork that has swastikas in it. There's a ton of it. It just is. It is what it is. It's just like you can't. No one's getting canceled. The dude's fucking dead. You know what I mean? And he still made a bunch of iconic artwork, and also he was just drawing what at the time what was there, and that was what was in culture. Now there is a certain amount of, I wouldn't even call this defense, but an explanation for a lot of this stuff. So, you know, it's not that people were unaware of Germany and the Holocaust and everything like that. People were aware, sort of it, but you got to understand this is also a pre-internet culture. So in the 50s and 60s, you know, describe punk rock, describe rebelling. And so there was a lot of people who would put swastika and Nazi stuff on their motorcycles back then, not because they were National Socialists, you know, not because they were racist, although that, you know, they could have been racist, I guess. I don't fucking know. I didn't know these people. But a big reason for it back then was it was like putting the enemy's flag on their motorcycle. So it was like the ultimate fuck you to their fathers. So you have these hippies in the 60s throwing Swazis on their bikes because their fathers fought in World War II against the Germans. They're like, I hate you so much. I'm rebelling so hard that I'm putting the sign of the enemy on my motorcycle. So you saw that a lot in the 60s. That was pretty common on bikes. A lot of old bikes. That's where the whole Iron Cross thing comes from.
That makes sense.
And it is what it is. Do I think you should put it on a bike now? No. Like, be aware of your environment. Like, people are going to take it the wrong way. So don't do it, you know? So it was a huge counterculture thing, but like the people putting it on their bikes now, I'm just like, dude, what the fuck, man? You know? But it was like a big counterculture thing. But again, I'm only reading this from shit that I've read. Like, obviously I wasn't alive then. So take it with a grain of salt. Don't repeat what I've said as gospel. Like, this is just shit that I've read. So how the fuck do I know? I wasn't alive in the 60s. So I don't know for sure. Bees of the Biker, my man. I will have some brews on you. Thank you. We'll see you soon, brother. Hopefully in March. Flash, I think that maybe some of that was happening in the 60s, the war trophy thing. But from everything I've read, it was much more common as a counterculture, fuck you to the old man thing in the 60s and 70s, the whole Swazi thing. That's how I've always read it. Like, there's maybe a small amount of war trophy stuff, which that definitely sounds better, right? Mm-hmm. That's like a better story. And I'm not saying that didn't happen, but that's definitely like a better story. Like, oh, it was a war trophy, so it like kind of like explains it better instead of someone just being like, fuck you, Dad. I hate you. I'm going to put your enemy's flag on my bike. But where you see most of it, you see very little of it in the 1950s when someone from World War II would have been riding their bikes. You see way more of it in... Is anybody interested in this, or am I just like talking out my ass right now?
I don't know. I'm interested.
So you see very, very little Swazi stuff in the 50s. Very little. Now, the whole chopper movement of the 60s and 70s, which was definitely like a fuck you, Dad thing, that's what they called them, hippie killers. That's what a chopper was called, because it was hippies riding them. So all of that stuff was them like taking their father's bikes, all these old Harleys from the 50s, 40s and 50s, and chopping them up. That was what it was. It was like they took them and they chopped them up and they made them look crazy. And, they put wild shit on them, counterculture stuff. Like the guys putting Swazis on their bikes in the 60s and 70s, they weren't in World War II. These weren't war trophies. These were just like the enemies of their father. So so it does sound good. It's like a nice story to be like, oh, this is a war trophy, because that sounds like more defensible. But I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just explaining it how I've read it and how I've understood it. So this is not a defense. It's just an explanation. That was a different time. We're not alive. We're not, it's not now. So just because that existed in the 60s and 70s, or even in the 50s as a war trophy thing, doesn't mean that you should, like, it's okay now. And so when people do it now, I'm kind of like, ugh. Although it's like the Iron Cross, I guess, is so ingrained in, like, I mean, the bike, my CB750 has an Iron Cross taillight.
Which one?
The CB750 chopper has an Iron Cross taillight.
Big and long boy?
Yeah, and one of Jared's bikes has a Warbird.
Yeah, but
tail
that one's
light.
a replica.
The CB750? No, that's an original.
No, Jared's bike is a.
He made it, but he made it. No, it had a Warbird, which was like it was a Nazi thing. It was like a big eagle holding a swastika. It's not holding a swastika, but it is a Warbird. But he built the bike with all period parts. So he built the bike how it would have been built back then.
Which one was that?
That was Hollywood Run.
I thought that one was a replica bike.
It is a replica of a painting, but he built it with all period. Every single part on that bike is from the 60s.
Yeah.
So it's all from the era, or before, actually. It's all from before David Mann painted that painting. That's how he made it. So it's like, that is a piece that would have been on it. You know? And it's not holding a Swazi. It's holding like something else, like I forget what it is. But you look at it, you're like, that's a Warbird. You know, it's definitely, the imagery is there. But the taillight was made in like the 60s. So I don't know, man. I'm just explaining it here. I feel like I don't want to sound like I'm defending it, because I'm not. This is just an explanation.
I don't know. Talking about something doesn't mean that you're defending it.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be
Just
taken
like
out of context.
yeah,
If somebody
sure.
just like jumped in right now and was like, what the fuck? You know? Carl Reed. Yes, you can put a magneto on any motorcycle as long as it's timed properly. Any motorcycle will run on a magneto, because a magneto is a physical reaction. So it works the same as a distributor. It creates a spark by spinning. So as long as it's attached to the crankshaft and spinning at half speed and has the correct rotation and timing to hit all the cylinders and fire them, any motorcycle will run on a magneto. Yeah, I don't know. There's stuff in that still permeates biker culture today, and it's definitely like Iron Cross. Are you familiar with what Iron Cross is, Shay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Iron Cross. There's so many companies have an Iron Cross in it, but like that's born out of that 60s and 70s counterculture, with a huge fucking Swazi influence. You know, that's born out of that. You ever see like the lightning bolt? They have the S's and they look like lightning bolts, right? You see that in chopper stuff all the time. It's from SS, like Nazi SS. That's where those S's come from.
I thought they liked the Grateful Dead.
Nope. That's also where the Grateful Dead's S. That's where the S's come from, dude. Yeah.
What?
Those are fucking Nazi SS signs.
No.
Oh, the Grateful Dead. I don't know. That's what they look like to me, though. So all the S's, like when you see like the crazy lightning bolt looking S, that's from SS. I'm not saying that those people are trying to promote that when they have it in their names and stuff like that, but it's so permeated into biker culture that people use it, and some people don't even know where it came from. They're just like using it because it looks cool. Like, oh, it's a lightning bolt instead of an S. That's awesome, right? Well, that's not where it comes from. SS, you know. I don't think it was the Grateful Dead though. I think that I was thinking of something else. The Grateful Dead is just a lightning bolt down the skull, right? I don't know anything about the Grateful Dead.
I also don't know anything about the Grateful Dead except hippies love it.
Yeah, no, the SS thing is...
and that they have a lightning bolt as their symbol.
Yeah, no, nothing to do with the dead. I misspoke on that. So let me say that very clear right now. Nothing to do with the Grateful Dead. But there are a lot of motorcycle stuff that use lightning bolts for S's, and that's where it comes from. So anyway, there's a lot. I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff in culture that people use now that they don't know where it comes from. That you're like, that's where. I mean, I don't know. What does it matter if they're not using it that way? If they're not like, hey, I'm not meaning it to support that. I'm just using it because it's permeated this culture. Like, they're not doing, to me, they're not doing anything bad. They're just like, fucking use it, dude. Nobody's thinking about it like that.
Sure, but you can't ignore the way that it affects other people.
Kiss is what they're saying. Serenity Kitty. Kiss's lightning bolts look like SS lightning bolts.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, anyway, I don't know, man.
I don't know. We're all learning with you guys too.
It doesn't bother me because I'm just like, if you know someone who's using that as the fucking thing, you're just like, okay. If they're not, I mean, racism is so fucking subtle, you know? Like nobody, I just like, I guess there are people who put Swazis and stuff who are like, I'm racist and this is like a little dog whistle. But like real racism that matters is so much more subtle than a swastika. Dude, it happens in ways that are like almost unseen, and most of the people doing it don't even realize what they're doing. It's not, you know, there's no fucking monster under the bed when it comes to racism or anti-religion or anything like that. There's no boogeyman. There's no giant enemy in the sky, dude. It's ignorance. It's it's, you know, following the trough and following the path. It's so subtle. There's not an enemy. And so I think that even like making it like, oh, I saw a Swazi, that's the enemy, and holding this person up as the enemy, I'm like, dude, you're missing the fucking point. And I don't know.
Sure, but like you just like can't deny that like the impact that it would have on someone else, and everyone can be like, oh,
that's true, yeah,
you know, because even though it's not someone's intention doesn't mean that the impact isn't the same, you know. And I am always saying that, like, just because you didn't intend to hurt someone's feeling doesn't mean that your impact didn't hurt them.
There's a couple people saying that racism isn't subtle, and like, yes, I realize that there are loud racists. I'm saying like the overall overarching issue is so insidious. But I get that there are loud racists as well. And yeah, that's something I think about a lot, Shay. And that's something that I only thought about when I was older, when I was like, okay, this means something to me. But it's not always about what it means to me. It's how the rest of the world perceives it. And if this is hurting somebody else, like, and it doesn't mean that much to me, I'm like, okay, this is making somebody else feel really awful. Like, that I should be like, oh, I should knock this off. It doesn't mean that much, you know? Fuck that, dude. Why would you do that? That's the whole thing with people who are like, well, it's traditional that the swastika and the counterculture thing. I'm like, just knock it off, dude. It makes people feel bad, dude. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. It's not cool, dude. Stop it. Like, it's not worth it, man. It's like, it's not. Why are you holding on to that? It's weird. Stop it. Just let it go. Makes people feel bad. The fuck. Anyway, that's enough about that. I won't talk about this no more. It's uncomfortable. I'm not like upset that we talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's not an uncomfortable topic.
No.
But we're here to entertain you, and that's not necessarily the most entertaining topic. Yeah,
it's kind of a weird thing, man. I don't know. And of course, like, I'm just a dude, man. I don't fucking know everything. So it's like half the shit I could be saying is wrong, man. I'm just a fucking guy, man.
I mean, yeah, like we say that all the time. We're just regular ass humans learning with you guys too. Like, the public school system has failed me.
Yeah, I speak loudly, which some people mistake for confidence. I speak confidently. Yeah. So like, you know, I always speak confidently, even when I'm wrong. And yeah, Swazis were like all over the place, but it's an Eastern religion thing. But that doesn't mean that's not how it's perceived in America. So if you look at old kung fu movies, they're all over everything. It's like a Buddhist thing, and they're all over like old Chinese kung fu movies and shit like that. There's Swazis everywhere. But I'm like,
I could watch a movie.
Yeah.
What movie do you want to watch?
And it was really woke culture has infected the Shadetree channel. Okay, I'm out.
Vance. Just because we're having
I'm exactly the same person I've always been.
Like a serious conversation that is not about motorcycles doesn't make the woke ideas infecting us.
I think that when people say woke culture, what they mean is people trying to sell stuff. Like, people are trying to sell you shit. There's this whole like movement like go woke, go broke, where they're like attacking them for it, but like they're just trying to sell you shit, dude. This is just advertising executives going like, how do I sell shit? There's no agenda, dude. It's just they're trying to get your money. And so like if you're fighting and not buying it, then you're speaking with your dollar. Knock yourself out. But don't pretend like it's anything else besides them trying to sell you shit. If you're trying to pretend it's like some weird ass fucking agenda, like, I don't know, man. You know what the agenda is? Making money. That's the agenda. Dollars. And it always has been. Like, what else is it? Mm-hmm. It's like, why do you think that any, like, Coca-Cola has, like, the fucking...
It's like, yo, it's June. Let's make everything rainbow.
Yeah, dude. Coca-Cola has the Model UN drinking Cokes because they want to sell Coca-Cola. It's not because they're trying to push a secret fucking woke agenda. They want to make money. Like, I don't know. When people fall into, like, the woke, woke is infected, I'm like, okay, all right. Like, go ahead, I guess, dude. Whatever you want to tell yourself. Because I'm just like, all right, man. Why? Because I was like, you shouldn't put a swastika on your bike. He's like, I can't believe this channel's gone woke. I'm like, all right, man. If that's where you draw the line, knock yourself out.
I draw the line at no swastikas.
Yeah, it's just like if you're not into swastikas, I'm fucking out. Fucking woke ass. I'm like, oh, all right, man. I guess like later.
All right, guys. In the chat, let us know what movie we should watch tonight on a lighter topic. Darth Pop, thank you so much for purchasing your tickets. We will be calling on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. What time is the Super Bowl run? I'm going to Google that. Because I don't want to call somebody too late, but if it's Super Bowl, they're probably up, right? It starts at 6:30. How long does somebody football for? Ninja, send me an email. I'll see if I have any overstock of 2X's, but I'm not sure. Ooh, I saw Asteroid City in the theaters. You guys need to pick something a little more lighthearted, okay? Like something more Escape from LA vibes, okay?
There better not be any woke agenda in here. I don't even want to say that because I don't want to get into talking about that because it's just a freaking never-ending hole. Anyway, let's talk about movies again.
Yeah, I asked them what movie we should watch, and they started saying like some super intense, serious movies, and I was like, "Can you guys pick
funny movies?
More Escape from LA vibes?"
Yeah. Treasure Planet's pretty dope, dude. I like that. The Wraith is cool.
I know.
Run-ins.
I know it says out of stock on the website, but I may have one in a box, so email me.
Oh, Toxic Avenger. The first Toxic Avenger is kind of a hard watch.
Seen Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, they get better. It gets better in the same way that Escape from LA is better than Escape from New York.
On the right track, though.
Yeah, that's more. We're more like trauma
you're
films.
on the right track.
Mad Max is what we should do.
Oh, dude, I love Mad Max. Is it early enough that we can watch Mad Max?
I don't know. I could probably stay up for one of them. You've only ever seen the last one, right?
I've seen the remake.
Right, the last one that came out.
Yeah, I think.
So you've never seen the first one is
Fury
not as exciting.
Road?
Yeah. The first one's not as exciting.
I've seen Fury
it's still a
Road.
really good movie, but you'll appreciate the first one more after you watch all of them. Mm-hmm. But the first one is not like anywhere near as exciting. Like Mad Max 2 is fucking just. It's Escape from LA. It's just wild.
I don't want to fall asleep though. I'm kind of sleepy. So I want more Escape from LA, where it's like, if I fall asleep, it's okay.
Explosions, right?
Yeah, if you fall asleep during Mad Max for like 5 seconds, you're fucked.
Dude, fucking Boozer Cruiser with Black Snake Moan.
Caddyshack we watched like a month ago for the first time, and it was very good. And you are also on the right track, for sure.
No, I haven't been racing FTR in a while, man. I just haven't had time, man, which is a bummer. But it is what it is. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's a fucking amazing movie. Very cool. One of the most iconic motorcycle scenes of all time.
I've
Pee-wee
seen
Herman
that.
knocks down all the motorcycles and then rides away and hits the billboard. It's so good. Y'all love them. Fifth Element. Classic. Amazing.
That's a classic.
God, I've seen The Fifth Element. I don't even know if I could ever watch The Fifth Element again because I've seen it so many times.
I've seen it 1,000 times, but hear me out. I've never watched it as an adult.
Oh, really? It was all when you were like a teenager?
Not even when I was a kid, because it was one of my dad's, like my biological father's favorite movies. Mm-hmm. So I've seen it like a shit ton of times as a child.
Right. I would be down to watch that because if you haven't seen it as an adult, I'd be into watching it.
I want to do it on like a different night, like maybe tomorrow.
Get All Dogs Go to Heaven. Amazing, dude.
Stop it. I said a lighthearted movie. Like, go fuck yourself, Spencer.
That was when
Journey of Jerry. That's my favorite movie.
So there was a time in this world where somebody stood up to Disney, right? And actually almost did it. They were so close. And that man was Don Bluth. And Don Bluth, like, stood up to Disney and was like, I'm going to make fucking cartoons. Nobody could fuck with Disney in the 80s and 90s. And Don Bluth was like, nah, dog. We're going to fucking try. And it was All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Did we watch Taxi Driver?
I don't know if I've ever watched it with you.
I think we watched it.
I watched it with Madam Hexa for the first time. I think you were like walking out of the room.
I think we watched it recently, or because it was a Scorsese.
I love how Lifer Knobs, his two choices are either Zootopia or Revenge of the Nerds.
Yo, what the fuck?
That's a weird, like, these are your two choices. Choose wisely. Love you. That's just an odd fucking choice.
I think we watched Taxi Driver.
You would fucking remember if
That's
we
what I'm
Taxi
like.
Driver.
I'm pretty sure I watched this. I'm like looking for the
De Niro fucking he killed.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is we watched a bunch of De Niro's in a row. That's why I'm being confused.
Did we? I don't think we ever even finished Bringing Out the Dead, which is my favorite Scorsese movie. With Nick Cage, who's the ambulance driver.
No, we finished that for sure.
Did we finish that? Are
yeah,
you sure?
we went back and finished it and watched it in 2 sittings because it was so good. I feel like we watched this.
The Warriors. The Warriors is good. I'm just like, every time I watch it, I'm just like, I want it to be more exciting. It is good. It's just like Raising Arizona. Raising Arizona is awesome.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing, of course.
You guys are
Coen brothers at their best.
Really so close. I could watch a Coen brothers. You know what we should watch? Because I loved the show so fucking much.
Oh, Fargo?
Yeah.
The movie is not like the show.
I know that.
Okay.
But it's a Coen brothers film, so it's got to be good, right?
Fargo's amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a copy
But it's not a lighthearted movie whatsoever.
I know, but it's still a good one. I freaking each one of the series is not like the other. You only ever watch the first season.
Oh, Fargo? I know. No.
The second season is nothing like the first season.
I know. I just like, it's so hard for me to watch a whole ass show sometimes.
I know, me too. I get it.
I
watch it all in one sitting when I'm
I went and
sick.
saw Why We Ride in the theaters at a special screening. I went and saw it. It was cool. I guess it was okay. Why We Ride. It was good. It was just like this like movie that came out of time. I was making YouTube videos at that time. But I remember looking back and going like, man, this feels like a YouTube video. That someone like made into a movie, and it was called Why We Ride. I was like, it was good though. I remember it was good. But they had a special, it was like very limited release, so you had to like sign up early, and they had a special screening, and I went and saw it. It was cool. It was all like the whole parking lot was full of motorcycles and stuff. It was cool.
God, at this point, I'm going through this. Y'all's list is looking like a curated Netflix.
What Chasing Ghosts? I love Daria. Are you kidding me? Daria was fucking awesome. Although sometimes it doesn't. I feel like it holds up, but like sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, Don Bluth, The Secret of Nim, An American Tale, All Dogs Go to Heaven, The Land Before Time. This guy was a powerhouse.
Dude, The Land Before Time was so good.
That's Don Bluth.
I played the video game. I liked it so much. I fucking loved The Land Before Time.
What was that fucking movie with? It's a Ridley Scott did an action movie with Michael Douglas, and he rode a motorcycle in it.
Then why did he have such a fucking like flaccid dick about doing Aliens 2?
I don't know. Ridley Scott's a weird cat, okay? Because he was probably like, oh, I can't do that now. I want to make a movie about a austere, very little known French painter now or some shit. Who knows, dude? Who knows the mind of Ridley Scott?
I just like...
He's a weird cat.
Think about how much storyline we could have got.
I think it's called like Hard Rain or something.
If he would have just like sucked it up.
And did Aliens 2. And
not been such a fucking drama queen.
If Ridley Scott had done Aliens 2, like the same basic premise, like the movie's the same, right?
Yeah.
Going to LV 426 or whatever it is, Space Marines, like the whole fucking thing. Same thing, except written and directed by Ridley Scott instead of fucking that hack James Cameron.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. Dude, because if you watch back to back Black Rain, Black Rain's a cool. It's not a motorcycle movie per se, but it does. The beginning sequence has Michael Douglas racing a Harley XR 1000 against a sport bike and winning, like racing an Ironhead Sportster, like the slowest Sportster ever against fucking. It's like a GSXR 1000 or something, but he like fakes him out, makes him crash or something, and wins. Beverly Hills Cop. She just watched recently.
Oh,
Loved it.
Was
so
good. It was so good.
But if you watch Aliens, Alien 2, Aliens, after watching Ridley Scott's Alien, and like everyone has fond memories of Aliens. I did. I'm just like, dude, I remember that movie when I was a kid going like, I had Aliens action figures, dude. You know, it was just like in the culture, comic books, action figures, merchandising. But if you watch like Alien, Ridley Scott's Alien, and then Aliens back to back, you're just like, what the fuck happened? How did you let this happen? It's so bad. It's like, it's good, but it's horrible, dude. Like there's one-liners, there's lines, you know what I mean? Like there's like, you're just like, oh God, dude. It's just like the fucking ruined it, dude. You
now
ruined
imagine
it.
if they actually took themselves seriously. Like even a little.
Ruined it, dude. And that's why I'm like, for me, the Aliens is only Alien, Prometheus, and Covenant.
Yeah.
Which is the Ridley Scott trilogy. And everything else doesn't count for me. Because I'm like, if you just watch those, it's amazing. And a lot of people didn't like Prometheus. I fucking loved it. So.
I fucking loved it too. Oh, dude, the second Dune is coming out soon.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked about going to see that.
I'm very, very excited to go watch Dune.
Watch They Live and go to bed. Yeah, we could watch They Live. It's another freaking Carpenter flick. One of the best horror movies of all time. Obviously, that's arguable, but They Live is considered one of the absolute classic best movie, if you're into horror, like best movies of all time.
Okay, I could do that and go to bed. I'm tired.
I haven't seen They Live since I was in fucking grade school, dude. Dude, Roddy Piper stars
Michael,
in it?
don't fuck with me. Is there new Aliens coming out? That's what he said.
Yeah, no, there's a new one.
What? Is
Yeah.
it Ridley Scott?
I think he's producing it because he doesn't care anymore. Now he's just like, get me paid, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
But it really is. Like, so he's producing it, and I know that's just like a get me paid thing. I think he's given up. Because Prometheus, everyone was like, oh. Like, people didn't like it. I love Prometheus. Yeah.
I'm
here
remember
for it,
people
dude.
talking shit about it, though. But I had never
Yeah, they
seen
didn't like
any
it.
Aliens
And then
that
Covenant, everyone was like, what the fuck? Fuck this shit. I love Covenant too, dude. I thought it was amazing. I loved them both, dude. I'm a Ridley Scott stan, though, for sure.
Yeah, no, me too.
But I think that he's just kind of given up. He's just like, my vision of Aliens is not happening. So they're doing another one, but it's a retcon. And so it's just like, goes back. And it's like, okay, we're on the James Cameron timeline now. But he's just producing it because he's like, well, I'm going to get fucking paid. Because Ridley Scott will sell out. Like, he'll fucking get paid. For sure. Dude, he's done some get paid shit.
Get paid, dude. Get fucking paid. I want more Aliens. And he's probably just doing this because he couldn't get his show to fucking work. Because his show was
dude,
weird as
Raised
fuck.
by Wolves was so good, dude.
It was
I wanted
so
it.
good, but it was
again,
also...
where Ridley Scott stands though, so
yeah.
it's like anything that's like got his name. I'm just like, yes, dude, this is his vision. It's gay robots. All I want to watch is Ridley Scott fucking make an entire movie about his relationship with his mother. You know, like as evidenced by weird queer androgynous robots. I'm just like, Ridley Scott's weird, dude. He's a weird dude. When they give him his head, when they let him go, he's a weird motherfucker. They give him stuff though, like a lot of his movies are just like he's a hired gun, just because he's a great director. And they're like Hard Rain's a great example of that. They're like, get Ridley Scott to direct this action buddy cop action movie because Ridley Scott's a great fucking director. Gladiator, same shit. We're like, we want to make a period piece, you know, all this shit, like Napoleon. They're like, get Ridley Scott to do it because he's amazing and he can make an amazing movie and he's an amazing director. But you can tell the difference between like Ridley Scott, Get Me Paid, and he did House of fucking Prada. You know what I mean?
I don't think I watched that.
So he gets paid for sure, but you can tell the difference between the get me paid.
Oh
and
yeah,
the,
I did watch that.
Yeah, and the like.
I told you to watch that and you didn't.
Because I'm not interested. Because it's not Ridley. He directed it, but it's not a Ridley Scott movie.
So good though. Fuck you. Fucking how dare you claim that movie and use it as an argument when you haven't seen it?
I do that all the time.
No, fuck you 1,000 times. Fuck you. I hate you. That's bullshit. Watch House of Prada with me.
Oh, Raymond Suarez.
asshole.
Don't even talk to us about Apocalypse Now. Me and Shay.
That's my favorite
together.
movie.
Not only have I seen Apocalypse Now, I don't know, probably 20, 30 times.
I've seen
Me
it
and
like
Shay
5 times.
together have at least seen it fucking several times. Like sitting in the same room. Dude,
I want a Pacific Rim job.
I love Pacific Rim. Also, dude, I watched Heavy Metal, the cartoon, 1,000 times when I was a kid on VHS. We used to rent it from Blockbuster all the time. Does not hold up. Doesn't hold up, dude. You watch it now, you're like, oh, man. I remember this being cooler. It's a bummer, dude. A huge bummer. Or not House of Prada, House of Gucci, sorry.
Whatever.
Yeah. See, I haven't even seen it. I'm just like, House of Prada, whatever. I got it wrong, dude. The Mustang E's fucking called me out. We're getting a bunch of great movies down here, man, for sure.
Yeah, lots of really good options to think about and ponder.
So that's the big Vietnam trilogy is Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket, which I don't know if we've ever watched Full Metal
I've
Jacket.
seen Full Metal Jacket.
I know you've seen it. I don't know if we've ever watched it together.
No, we haven't. But I've seen it in like I watched.
You've seen it like recently?
Yeah, I watched it in college.
Okay. But the one you haven't seen is Platoon.
No, I haven't seen Platoon.
Or
no, I fell asleep during it, but it wasn't because it was boring. It was because I was tired.
But that's the like. Although I always feel like Platoon is a really good movie. It's okay. It's Oliver Stone. But it's like, and it was like Oliver Stone. I think Oliver Stone was in Vietnam. You know. Mm-hmm. But I always, which makes me feel bad saying this, but I feel like out of like the top 3 Vietnam movies, I feel like Platoon's the weakest. I just do. Sorry, top 4, Deer Hunter. Chainsaw just got me on that one. Deer Hunter's a fucking classic, dude.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
Yeah. The Jerk, I don't really think that's a Vietnam movie, Lost on the Road. So anyway, who doesn't love Mel Brooks? What did I say we're gonna watch? They Live. I haven't seen it since I was fucking wearing shorts, so it's like that would be like. So here's the premise, because I didn't remember the premise. John Carpenter, of course. They Live is a 1988 American science fiction film written and directed by John Carpenter, based on the 1963 short story 8 O'Clock in the Morning by Ray Nelson. Starring Roddy Piper, Keith David, and Meg Foster, the film follows an unnamed drifter who discovers through special sunglasses that the ruling class are aliens, concealing their appearance and manipulating people to consume, breed, and conform to the status quo via subliminal messages in mass media. This sounds right up your alley. This is like psyop lizard people shit.
I love that shit.
For sure, dude.
I could literally listen to Joe Rogan talk about psyop lizard shit in my ears forever. And there's probably enough content of him doing that for me to do that.
I feel like They Live is culturally significant enough that it should be like in our repertoire of like shit we, you know what I mean? Because I know that Reproduce and Consume, those are like, I know that's from They Live. But I haven't seen it since I was a little kid, and I'm sure a lot of it went over my head, you know. A lot of people are saying it's not that great. You know, I guess it probably isn't, man. A lot of that old shit like that, where it's just like culturally significant now because it hit on a really good point, is really not that great. It just has like one good point, like that came true. It's like shit that came true. You're just like, oh shit, the media is trying to control us, and everyone's like, haha, stupid. That's not true, you idiot. This movie's bad. And then the movie is kind of bad, but then later on, people are like, oh shit, they were right though. It's good, but it's still not. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of movies like that.
Toxicarius, I've seen The Never-Ending Story, and do you remember the time Hank Hill watched Platoon? Oh my god, yes. I love King of the Hill. I have every episode of King of the Hill torrented on my old laptop. You guys have given us so many good choices. Yeah, we're gonna probably start going to bed here pretty soon, because we still have to watch a movie and it's 10:30 and I'm sleepy. But we will be... Shrek is so good. Stop. We will be live streaming on Sunday if you don't want to watch sports ball. And if you are watching sports ball, we might just give you a call letting you know you won a tour glide. I do not like the Muppets. They are weird. Never liked the Muppets. You guys have given us some very, very good recommendations.
I was just thinking as I went to get these beers, I was just thinking like how much happier I am that we're talking about movies instead of like the woke agenda. I was just like, this is so much better.
I'm calling it.
Oh, are you done?
Yeah.
All right. Well, did we decide on a movie?
No, but I'm like tired already, so I don't want to like.
Nothing serious. We could finish Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Were you into it? I couldn't tell. Or were you too tired when I put it on?
I was so tired when you put it on. I thought you were putting the trailer on when you put it on.
I do. I'm a big like. Let's just watch the first 5 minutes, but then I just see how long I can let it play for. It's my little trick. Shh! Don't tell anybody. Anybody else do that? Or just let me just put on the first 5 minutes of this movie, and then I'll be like sneaking peeks, like, oh, look who's hooked.
No, I'm asleep. And asleep on the couch all night. That's your fault, fucker.
City Slickers is actually awesome, dude. That's an awesome movie.
I do not want to fall asleep on the couch 2 nights in a row, so I'm calling it.
All right. Well, before we leave, one last time, the tour glide for the ages. We are pulling this ticket on Sunday. This is officially the best odds we've ever had on a motorcycle we're giving away. This is a 1982 Shovelhead Tour Glide. As always, 100% of the profits go to Forgotten Angels, me and Cheyleesi. The Royal We, which is Brapstar, has paid for all the repairs on the bike. So everything that needed to get fixed on it, we paid for and did ourselves. So literally none of the money from this goes to anything but Forgotten Angels. 100% of it goes to Forgotten Angels. Also, I hate to say this, but this is the first year that we're going to be charging for the camp out. We have to, because if you saw my video where I talked about it, last year for the camp out, myself and Cheyleesi, again, the Royal We, Brapstar, spent like $4 or $5 grand on the camp out, which is a lot. But also like for 500 of our friends to go down and party, that's not that bad, right? 500 people partying for $5,000.
Yeah, but
that's pretty good.
As a personal expense,
David personally spent $22,000. That's the other half of that.
Yeah.
David And I'm so glad he was there to do it because it wouldn't have happened without him. Because we got hit out of left field with this camp out. It was a lot of people. So it was almost $30,000 for the entire weekend. And we just can't do it again. So we had to start charging for it. It's $100 for the whole weekend. But if you buy $100 worth of raffle tickets, because, ultimately we're not trying to profit off the camp out. It's still for charity. But Forgotten Angels doesn't pay for the camp out because it's not for Forgotten Angels. It's a Brap Star. It's a weirdo camp out. It's not so Forgotten Angels doesn't pay for the camp out. So ultimately, we're not trying to make money off this. So if you buy $100 worth of raffle tickets, that will count as a ticket. And I'm not worried about. Some people were like, "Are you worried about that?" Like, no. Enough people will just not buy tickets on this raffle. Like I said, it's the lowest performing raffle we've ever done. I don't think that's because it's a bad bike. It's just because we haven't been able to promote it properly. So it's the lowest amount that we've ever done. So I'm not worried about that. Enough people will still pay cash that will cover the camp out. And if we make any more money on the camp out than it costs, then that will also go to Forgotten Angels. But if you buy $100 worth of tickets, save your email receipt from this. That counts as your ticket to Forgotten Angels camp out in March. Oh, 66KTY, number one troll. I actually like that guy. He's very cool. He does be saying some troll shit, but I don't know. We got a special relationship. I like him. If you see him in the comments and he's saying something really mean, don't be mean to him. We have an understanding. He's all right. He's all right. I like him. Yeah, if you pay, you can come and go freely. And I think we're going to figure out like a day pass or something like that too, because I don't want someone to pay $100 just to come for an afternoon. But anyway, I'm just saying. We'll figure that out as we get closer, which we're pretty close. But
yeah, we should figure that out.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I would say anyone out there, you wish you had a troll as cool as 666KTY. That guy's awesome. Love you, brother. Anyway, we are actually signing off, man. And we're going to go watch the rest of